Today, I'm going to take you step by step through 3 of my weekly check-ins with my nutrition clients. Let's go.
All right, let's start with this first client here. This is a client with some fat loss focused goals. He is going to have a 40th birthday in June. So he's working with me 5-6 months ahead to get in the best shape he can for that big birthday, which is exciting. I've worked with him in the past in 2018, maybe in 2022. He's come back to me a few times, different goals, different focus, get back on track. It's always nice to work with him. And this is how things are going through our first month together, just to give you some sense of the background. One other thing, with this client, he just had a baby in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Newborn, baby son. Things were like they stayed in the hospital for a little bit longer. So as you know, like that throws a wrench in a lot of plans in terms of being prepared to nail your nutrition plan. I spend a lot of time highlighting to this client how good he is doing in spite of all this stuff. Most people, like, this isn't an excuse. This is a legitimate life event reason to get in the way of things, but he started no matter what, and he's doing the best he can, and it's paying off for him. So things are really, really good and moving in the right direction. What you're seeing right now is my check-in form that gets sent directly to my email. I have that set up on the top of his actual tracking sheet here. This is the check-in form. If you've never seen this tracking sheet or check-in form, make sure to go below in the comments and write tracking, and I will get both of these resources over to you so you can benefit from them. But let's check in where he's in through 5 weeks of our time together here. So things are looking good overall. In the last few weeks, last week he got a full week of tracking and he's reporting to me all of his targets here. Really, really good consistency. I had him set up at 220 grams of protein, 265 grams of carbs, 75 grams of fat. Those were his targets. This is how he did, and weight has come down quite a bit. He started at 235. I think initially he had went up a little bit, just some changes in terms of food volume, like you put him on a deficit. He's eaten more total food overall in terms of weight. So weight came up a little bit. Maybe he started off a little bit heavier, but now he's down to 231 at his lowest year with a big drop in the trend. So things are like moving in the right direction. And again, despite everything that was going on. So I'm listening to this, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about, he's also, he was sick for a little bit. His workout intensity is pushing up. He's, making some comments around not having the same intensity he did while he was in his bulk, and his surplus, and how he had spent the previous year, which makes sense. Like we brought his calories down. He's starting to lose weight. It's probably starting to feel some of the effects of that, as well as probably being a bit sleep deprived. So there's a few things moving in that direction. What I did in terms of what I was thinking here, there's a bigger drop here, like 3-ish pounds over this week. Was that mainly water weight? Maybe. But based on that, I'm going to add in a higher carb refeed for him 1 day of the week. Usually what happens there is like we move calories closer to maintenance calorie levels. We will bring his protein down a touch just because it's like a bit more of you have more calories overall. You don't need as much protein as you do when you're like on deficit numbers. So bring that up and then bring the fat up a touch, just because it's going to make it easier to work in some different food choices and get a bit of a psychological break on this 1 day refeed as well. So keep the normal numbers the same, keep everything else the same, add in a refeed. He's pumped about this. We already talked about it. I included these notes in my check-in as well as a video talking over all this stuff. I'll detail to you how I put the video together on the third check-in we do today. But for now, this is what I'm seeing with this first client, and this is what I'm changing and what I'm going to express to him, and we'll keep rocking and rolling. So that's the plan. That's the first check-in right here.
Okay, now let's move on to our second check-in. In this check-in, you're going to learn what I do when I'm planning to take some vacation or some time off, and how I correspond with clients. I set them up in a specific way, and you're going to learn how to do that in this check-in.
All right, this is client number 2 here. What's exciting about this, I've been working with this client originally was a fat loss phase. We did that for 3 or 4 months. We reverse dieted her out of it. She was able to maintain much of her leanness. She's up a little bit now, but she's on more like maintenance calories now, focusing on strength and pushing ahead before she does a cut in March here. So in another month or so, we're just giving her a little bit more of a break. We're gonna do a mini cut, but she's kind of in the depths of
it's tough to stay focused when there's not like an immediate goal in front of you. Like maintenance is completely necessary for so many people and focusing on strength. But sometimes when you're like not as laser focused on like a fat loss goal or something, it's like tougher to adhere to. She's the most consistent person I know, but at the same time, that's been a bit of a struggle still. So we've been just finding ways to keep her on track, keep her focused, keep things moving ahead. The previous week, she had a few days where she didn't track. Our goal for over the last week, also, you're getting an insight view of what it's like to be an online coach. The dogs are barking. It happens. From this point here, like the biggest thing being what we're focusing on is in the last week was just getting a full week of tracking in, a full week, full 7 days of eating, good or bad. And she did that. Her weight's hanging out around 132 throughout the entire week. She had some ups and downs. I know she had a big event over the weekend. Her protein's not quite where it is. But when we look at this, there was, a full week of tracking. All 7 days are logged. I'm super pumped on that. She's pretty focused on her steps. We have a step goal for her as well, and making sure she's getting into the gym enough and doing the strength workouts was also something that she had been focusing on, and she did that. So this is like, all in all, given the fact that she had said, it wasn't an impressive week of eating, but she logged the entire week towards these targets, things look good overall. Like this is the kind of consistency that we're building leading into a cut. So I'm pumped with this. Now, what I did moving forward was I do want to keep her closer to maintenance, but sometimes making some changes to these food levels helps people stay focused and dialed in. So I made some reductions to her number just to keep her like, could this be the start of a deficit? Probably not. It's going to probably still be close to maintenance if she's consistent here. But we made these drops in terms of bringing her fat down. I'm looking at the numbers throughout the week as like, where do I want to take it? I like the idea of her staying at 200 grams of carbs, although there's some days that are lower, but it looks like she'd get away with eating lower fat on some of these days. So I made a reduction here. Now, I'm going away next week. I'm taking the week off, as I had mentioned. So when I'm talking to my clients that I'm going to be going away for the week here, I'm going to give them a plan that's going to stand for 2 weeks. So I write it in for 2 weeks with the intent that she knows that we'll get back to normal check-ins. The previous week, she skips a check-in day. This plan stands for 2 weeks, and then we hit the ground running here. If you're running a nutrition coaching business where you do offer your services month to month, it gives you tons of flexibility and helps boost your monthly recurring revenue. But there becomes time where you want to leave and you want a true vacation. You don't still want to work from somewhere else. You got to take some time off. So this strategy helps. I tell them in advance, a month out, I'm going away. We'll have a plan that lasts through that time. And then from there, the week before, I set them up for multiple weeks with the intention that they don't check in the next week. I get some time off. They still have a plan. And then we go from there. Your clients want to support you in that stuff. So that's a part of it. She's also got a social event here coming up with, we got Super Bowl Sunday coming up, but that doesn't seem all that concerning. But she got a close friend's wedding. So we're going to take the entire day off as an untracked day that day. We already talked about that. That's why I ask these type of questions around, hey, what's coming up? What do we need to plan for? So we have that in place. And she doesn't have to think about, am I doing this wrong? Or do I have the green light to do this? She already knows that. So that's the plan for this client here.
All right, we're cruising now. Let's do one more check-in. And in this check-in, you're gonna learn how I actually correspond, how I put it all together, and what I say in my video feedback back to my clients. All right, got one more check-in to do here. This is another fat loss client that has also some performance-based goals. We've worked together in the past. He got quite lean. He's been focusing on strength as well as his endurance-based training over the last few years, put on some quality weight, but now he needs to get leaner because he wants to do a backflip. He also is going to do the Boston Marathon in October. So obviously logging tons of running volume and pushing pretty hard. This guy is just a gamer and I love working with him because he takes care of business and things look good. So what I'm going to do here is just go over some of the changes I'm making with him and some of the things that I'm doing. It seems like nutrient timing is a concern here. He's ends up the day quite a bit more food. I'll talk about some of the changes I'm making that is going to help that. As well as he had made a note around his tracking app, which he knows not to do this, but seemed to make some changes where it was starting to add in energy expenditure and
kind of do the eat back strategy. When you're tracking your food, you should use it just to log food and not to log exercise, because this part's a lot more inaccurate in terms of overestimating the amount of calories you're burning. There's some underreporting or underestimating on this side, but we start to do this thing where it's like inaccuracies on both sides. You're adding food in. It's not a good strategy. So it did that to him one day. It kind of threw things off. So that was part of it. Here's my headspace around this, and let's take a look at his last week here. Tracking some sleep and steps and water, as well as training minutes for him here. His weight had come up after that kind of weird app day quite a bit, and just recently came back down to 186, but he started around 188, 186. We've been working together for 5-6 weeks. He's had some ups and downs and injuries. He is visibly getting leaner, but the scale hasn't come down tremendously, especially just on paper last week. There's been some dips, without a doubt. He's getting leaner, but that's one of those things where I'm just kind of taking a look at it here and thinking, what's going on? I was a bit surprised not to see it come down more, because his food levels are probably, we've made some adjustments already. Yeah, down like 150 calories from where we started, which I had already thought and presumed would be at like probably a 5 to 10% deficit to start. So things should be probably moving a little bit faster with this client. I let him know that. I'm going to show you exactly how I put a Loom video together for a client here in a second. But what I was thinking with this client specifically is I played around and toyed around with the idea of making a food drop for starters, and then also adding in a refeed the day before his longest duration endurance event. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to make a drop to both his carb and fat targets, bring him down around 150 calories a day, and add in that once per week higher carb refeed to help manage his performance and push ahead. I've worked with this client in the past. You're seeing tabs down here from previous bouts of working together back in 2020 and 2019. Having that kind of data does, number one, each time isn't the same, but it does inform me that he was losing weight closer to 2,100, 2,200 calories. So probably a bit lower than expected, given 5'6", 185 pounds, does tons of training volume. You would think he'd be able to get away with eating more food and pushing the leanness, but this just isn't the case. So we're going to make some changes and some drops. How would I talk to this client about this? Here's what I would do. Let's call him Bobby. Hey, Bobby, thanks for checking in. Okay, things are looking good overall. I was a bit surprised to see your weight come up over the week and not go down, because consistency was pretty good overall. You're pretty close most days. Outside of that one kind of weird app day, not to use your tracking app as with the balancing act of estimating energy intake and using your exercise and putting that into the app, because the eat back strategy just makes it too inaccurate. So just continue to use it for tracking your food and the calories in, and we'll set our targets based on that and stay consistent around that, and good things will happen. Now, it sounds like nutrient timing is one of those things where we've got to continue to work on it and eating earlier in the day and getting more calories ahead, so you don't have this surplus left over. You got to eat things back at the end of the day, which isn't a bad strategy if you're able to stay consistent, but you probably can get away with performing better early in the day if you eat more. So we're looking at adding in around 200 calories in your morning meal. So I would suggest, honestly, sometimes one of the easiest things to do, especially as an endurance athlete, is adding in like half a bagel with some peanut butter or something along those lines, some additional carbs around your training. If you haven't already started maybe adding in some liquid carbs, like something like that could just be an easy way of boosting performance and getting your carbs up without having to seek out other meals and that kind of stuff. So those are some of the things that it's like, what else could I add into breakfast? Or can I add in some carbs around my workout to make that easier? Additionally, what we're going to do this week, I was expecting to see your weight come down a little bit more. I'm a bit surprised actually, but let's make some drops this week to bring your carb and fat targets down, as well as add in a higher carb refeed that we're going to put on Saturday, the day before your longest duration run, help you boost performance there, as well as keep you focused on losing fat and a little bit of psychological relief around dieting, and then we'll go from there. I do think with these changes too, you're just not going to have as many calories to work with. So that might take care of some of the nutrient timing thing, but that with the strategies as well will move things in the right direction. So that's what we're going to focus on for right now. Let me know how that sounds. Let me know how that feels. If you have any questions, and we'll go from there. That is the type of video that I would take using Loom, just like this. I would work it into an email correspondence with just a paper trail around, here are your food levels, this is what was discussed, this is what I think you should do. Work it in there, send it off an email, and the check-in's done. And that's it, folks. There are 3 examples, step by step, how I do my weekly check-ins with my nutrition clients. Hope you found it helpful. If you're completely new around here and you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Every week we put out 2 completely brand new nutrition coaching videos, so make sure you follow along. And as great as all those tips are, if you're really serious with starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'm gonna have you do is check out this video I've linked up right here. Today you learned how to do nutrition coaching check-ins, but one thing I wanna break down even further is my hybrid check-in process. That's where I use video and integrate it into the check-in so my clients get better feedback, it takes me less time, and they're more happy with the service. You're gonna learn all about that in this video right here, so check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.